This will be a day long remembered. Now I am the master.
Welcome to another episode of Legends and Theories, and welcome to my review of the Dark Knight Trilogy. And obviously, I'll be going over the films Batman Begins, The Dark Knight, and The Dark Knight Rises. And this is one of my favorite superhero trilogies, and some of my favorite superhero films. So let's just get into it. And starting with Batman Begins, we have a very compelling origin story for Bruce Wayne. And of course, we get the great part of it being very grounded, which was completely unique for the time. And some superhero movies like The Joker and The Batman have taken after it, but this was pretty unique, especially for the time, and it was a really interesting storyline to follow. And with it, we have a great villain in Ra's al Ghul, a great secondary villain in Scarecrow, and a really good appearance from Carmine Falcone. I think overall this is a really, really good movie. It's a great origin story for Batman and really helps you understand how he became Batman instead of just throwing you into the world of Batman. And I think that's what makes it the most unique of all the Batman movies. That this isn't one where, besides in the movie Batman Year One and the comic book it's based off of, in terms of being a movie and will also Mask of the Phantasm, this is probably one of the best explanations for how Bruce Wayne became Batman. Yeah, I think that was really interesting to see. And Liam Neeson's Ra's al Ghul, great villain, and Scarecrow, who was in all three movies, also did a great job. I also really enjoyed us getting to see Batman's interaction with the police and what he's originally thought of, since before this, you've really only seen Batman in a positive relationship with the police, or, well, yeah, it's really because in the original Batman, which I reviewed yesterday, he isn't in a great position with the police, but they're also not hunting him down. In Batman Begins, he's being hunted down by the police, and we also get Gordon is a great character in it. And of movie versions of Gordon, this is definitely the second best, with his best relationship with Batman being in the movies in the Batman, and I think that was done really well. The ending to the movie, although it does seem a little unrealistic, is still pretty grounded with the fear gas being put in a very real way. The next two films would be even more grounded than this. But really nothing besides a potential renewable energy being anything completely beyond unrealistic. And moving on to one of the best Batman movies ever. And I say one of the best because I think there are some animated movies that do a little bit of a better job. And of the live action ones, this one's definitely my favorite, being The Dark Knight. And I could probably keep this brief because almost everybody loves this movie. There are some people who don't love The Dark Knight. I think because, they don't like the grounded take, but I think almost everyone agrees that live action Joker's Heath Ledger did the best job. And who knows if this will ever be topped, at least in live action, because Mark Hamill still is the best in terms of all Jokers ever, at least in my opinion. And with Heath Ledger, he does such a great job in this role. He sadly passed away before this movie came out, and if he did live, he probably would have had a great career today. And that's not really something I want to talk about anymore. So moving on, there's just so much more great stuff that we get to see in this movie. We get to see just how the Joker is so chaotic and how he is able to corrupt Harvey Dent into becoming Two-Face. Yeah, that is just such a cool thing to see. We get so many awesome scenes in this, from the opening bank heist to the fight between Batman and Joker to the run me over to how I got these scars and the confrontation with Two-Face in the end. There's just so many iconic scenes in this movie. It's so fun, and as I said, Heath Ledger plays just an amazing Joker, and they did such a good job with this movie. They made it really interesting. Finally, moving to The Dark Knight Rises. I know this is not as popular as the other two, but personally, I really do love this movie, being a really good adaptation of both No Man's Land and Nightfall. We have a really interesting storyline where we get to see how Bruce Wayne is dealing with his back being broken. Oh, it also is adapting Dark Knight Returns in parts. Batman returning from retirement, but we get to see Batman returning from retirement and having to fight Bane. And then he has to save Gotham, which has been taken over by Bane and separated from the rest of the world with the threat of a nuclear bomb. And yeah, this was a really great movie. I really do enjoy it. Although it's probably last place in the trilogy, it's still one of my personal favorites. And yeah, I don't really hate this movie as much as other people do. This was actually the first Batman movie I ever got to see in theaters, with me not being really old enough at the time to see Dark Knight, at least, according to some people in my family. They wanted me seeing it at that young of an age, although I was not too young. I don't have to say my exact age around that time, but it was just, I didn't get a chance to see that, and I wasn't as big as a superhero fan at the time. But when I saw Rises, that was a really great experience. It was a really good movie, and Tom Hardy plays a great Bane, although he is not perfect with him not having Venom. I understand why they didn't have it for this adaptation, with it being more realistic, and Venom being pretty far out there with how powerful it is. And I do see the small problem in the Talia al Ghul twist, but really, besides that, this movie is really great. I think they do such a good job with it, and also I think with the Talia al Ghul twist, they lied about it and said that this wasn't Talia al Ghul, although it really was. So I think that is a little bit of bad, well, advertising, and is similar to the Arkham Knight when they said he is not Jason Todd, although he really was. But still, even if we look past that, which I can, I think that we have such a great storyline here. I really enjoy watching this movie. I think that Christopher Nolan did such a great job making this trilogy. Yeah, see, I think that's all I have to really say about this. I want to know what you think about the Dark Knight Trilogy. Let me know in the comments, and I'll see you all next episode of Legends and Theories. Thank you for watching this episode of Legends and Theories. Please subscribe, like the video, share the video, leave a comment, check out the video on screen, and may the Force be with you.